What's going on, guys? Seth here from Team Union Seth. We are here for our round 1 battle in the playoffs of the SSS, the Seasonal Sawsbuck Showdown League. Real quick, if you did not watch the team builder, make sure you go back and watch that. Other than that, make sure you subscribe and leave a like on the video. It's very motivating to see you guys leaving likes, and obviously subscribe if you like my content. So we are going to get set up with this battle. We do see the Medicham, which is scary. We have Sharpedo, we have Crobat, we have Regice, which was expected. We have Tangela, we have Medicham, and we have the Hitmonchan. Wow, both Hitmonchan and Medicham. So, that's not the worst thing in the world, honestly. Falcon has a really good matchup here. Falcon has a really good matchup here. My Masquerain. And Alakazam actually has a decent matchup as well, especially with the Psyshock. So, this is pretty good. No Smeargle, which is something to note. So the safety goggles on Kadabra aren't super useful, but I think we're all right. Okay, so I could straight up lead with Wong if I wanted to. And potentially get up rocks. We see hazard removal in Rapid Spin on the Hitmonchan as well as the Crobat with Defog, but that is it overall. We do have 2 rocks users. No Dusknoir, so Namor is a little less valuable as well. But it can potentially trap something like the Hitmonchan or even the Medicham. I don't really want to trap the Medicham because of Psycho Cutters and Headbutt, but we could potentially trap something like the Hitmonchan or even the Regice and potentially Toxic it and whittle it down. So lead on my opponent's part. I'm thinking either Tangela or Crobat. No hazards for my opponent. Not Tangela, Crobat. I'm thinking Regice or Crobat. So I don't think Wong is too bad of a lead, but I kind of like Drax overall as a lead. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Drax. As we see, my opponent does lead with the Regice. So this is actually pretty decent for me. Let me go into Showdown, and we're gonna see what moves this thing gets. It could get like Brick Break. It could have Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon might do a good chunk of damage. Let me check that. Regice, Rock Polish is fine if it has Flash Cannon. I apologize if I sound a little nasally. I am just getting over being sick. Focus Blast is gonna do a good chunk. Flash Cannon does a little bit less than half. Focus Blast does 60 to 70. We can only do about half, a little bit more than half to this thing. Is getting up rocks worth it in this scenario right now? Is it worth taking a Focus Blast? I personally don't think it is, but I think he's going to have the Thunderbolt on this thing as well, so I don't really want to go into Namor just yet. But I could do it to take the Focus Blast. Let's actually see how much Namor is taking from a Thunderbolt. Wow, Thunderbolt destroys that. So that's not the idea. So I think I have to go for an Earthquake to try to get rid of this thing as soon as I can because it is somewhat of a problem. So I think that is my play. I do have another Mon with Rocks, so I'm just going to EQ. We are fast and we do 33%, so this is a defensive Regice. As we see the Toxic come out, and he does miss. So we get some damage off, and we see that it is Toxic, and it is definitely physically defensive. So I go to my Piloswine. Let's just say max HP first of all. Max HP. We do 41 to 48. So we did 33%, right? Yeah, we did 33%. So that's definitely max defense. Yeah, that's max defense. Possibly bold. Not necessarily. So I think I am going to double into Namor. Because if it's not offensive, it can't knock me out with Thunderbolt. If it's not offensive, it can't knock me out with Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt will do 63 to 74 if it's not offensive. So I am going to double into my Quillfish, predicting another Toxic, which is very possible. He could try to predict and go for that T-Bolt, but you know that's a play I'm willing to risk because Namor isn't quite as valuable as it was before with the Dusknoir. So My late game is definitely going to be sweeping with the Tyrantrum. He really doesn't have a whole lot to stop it. If I can weaken Tangela, if I can get that thing weakened, then Tyrantrum's going to have a really good time in this battle. Even with the Hitmonchan and the Medicham, after a Dragon Dance, I outspeed I outspeed a Scarf's Adamant one, I believe. There's the Quillfish. As we've seen, other Toxic, but it misses, doesn't really matter. We see the leftovers on the Regice. I didn't see that before. There's the lefties. I could Toxic it myself. What would my opponent go into here? Probably the Tangela. Either Tangela or probably Crobat, I think might be a good switch. So I'm going to Whirlpool, actually. And see what this thing wants to go for. Because if it goes for a T-Bolt, I can Toxic it next turn and start to whittle it down. Or potentially just come in with my Tyrantrum after Namor dies and fire off a huge hit on something that doesn't want to take it. So we see the Whirlpool, no switch. There's the Thunderbolt. So the Thunderbolt comes out, not surprising. So I could go for a Scald here, or I could just go for a Toxic, or I could potentially switch, predicting another Thunderbolt. Now, once I switch out, the Whirlpool will come off of him, so it won't be causing any more residual damage, but it won't cause damage after if I go down anyway. So I kind of do want the Intimidate. I do want to keep the Intimidate, so I could double back into Drax and potentially let it get Toxic, but I could get my Rocks up as well, which could be pretty nice. Could force the Defog from Crobat, which would be nice too. So I think that is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go back into Drax. Because my opponent is either going to Thunderbolt or he's going to Toxic. Toxic will be obviously predicting the Drax. Thunderbolt will be to get rid of this thing, and I think he will want to get rid of it. The Intimidate's really nice for the Sharpedo and for the Medicham, but he does go for the Toxic. Gets the Toxic off on me, but I am just going to go for my Rocks here. Could have Focus Blast, could not, but I am just going to get my Rocks up because I think that's just the best move right here. Rocks are going to be very important in this matchup, and if I can keep them up, that would be really, really nice. So if my opponent does switch it, so we see the Tangela come out as I do get those Rocks up. Now, how am I matching up against this Tangela? Let's see. So, Piloswine, Tangela, RU Defensive Pivot. Icicle Crash is 37 to 44. It does have the Regenerator, so we could potentially see a Leech Seed come out here. So I could go into my Kadabra, which I think might be a good play, because it can't Sleep Powder me. It can't Sleep Powder me. It can't Leech Seed me. And Signal Beam is going to do how much? Signal Beam does over half. So I am going to go into my Kadabra. Because if it Toxics, if it Leech Seeds, if it Sleep Powders, it's not going to Sleep Powder on my Drax, but I'll be immune to it next turn anyway. Because of the safety goggles, which will be nice. So if he does decide to Toxic or Leech Seed, not Toxic, if he does decide to Leech Seed, I'll be okay. I can take a hit from this thing pretty decently. If it's offensive, well, a knockoff's going to do a whole lot. So hold on, let me... Okay, well, I can't cancel that now. There's a knockoff. Yep, brings me down to 1%. So that's actually not the worst thing in the world. That's pretty bad. I didn't really consider that. But I am just going to go for a Signal Beam, as I think my opponent is just going to stay in and try to knock me out. But Signal Beam is going to do a really big chunk, and I can get either my Masquerain or a Tyrantrum in here. So we see the knockoff come out. So that was definitely a misplay on my part. I wasn't really thinking about knockoff. If I had Icicle Crash there, I don't know if that would have been the best play, but I could have gone into something different. Like if I had gone into Tyrantrum, that would have probably been a pretty decent play. Because it couldn't knock off the Rockheim Z, but then I would reveal on Z, and I wouldn't be able to do a whole lot back to it. So it's not the worst thing in the world. See how offensive? Because he just said that was a min roll. So I don't know what he's calcing. Well, I have HP. If I didn't have HP. Yeah, if I didn't have an HP, then a max roll could have killed me. But I do have HP, so not that big of a deal. Signal Beam is going to do a lot here. If my opponent decides to switch, it's going to take Rocks damage. So it might switch into Regice, but I can follow that up with I can follow up the Signal Beam with a Psyshock, and it is going to take that damage from Rocks as well. So it would take, if that's 74, it would take Rocks, which would bring it to 49, plus Signal Beam, which would do maybe like 10 to 20%. And then I can follow that up with a Psyshock and probably knock it out. Well, it is defensive, so I'm not really sure how much it would do there, but let's see what my opponent wants to do. Probably going to see, I mean, I'm hoping my opponent stays in, honestly, and knocks me out. Because that way I get the Signal Beam off. I do a little bit of damage. And I can bring in something else to potentially knock this thing out, or just put pressure on the team. There's the Sharpedo switch. As we get the Signal Beam, is this going to knock it out? Signal Beam takes out the Sharpedo. Kills Sharpedo with Signal Beam. And here comes the Crobat. So if my opponent wants to go for the Defog, I can Psyshock and get rid of this thing pretty easily. So I'm just going to Psyshock. As we've seen, Air Slash. So we know it's Special Bat. Kills Kadabra. Air Slash. And we see the leftovers. So no Black Sludge. We see the leftovers. Interesting. So Shark is gone. Kadabra is gone. So I can go into Drax here, which I think would be a good play. I could also potentially go into Cap and honestly set up from here. I do want to see how much we're doing against different mons on the team. So if I go Tyrantrum, if I go Cap, and I'm +1. I'm +1. We do outspeed we outspeed this thing, right? Yeah, if it's max speed, we outspeed it. Let's see, to a Tangela, Head Smash is doing 51 to 60, so we 2 KO it at +1. I don't really like those odds quite yet, but I could just put on a lot of pressure. Even if I'm not at +1, I could just Head Smash and do a big chunk. But then if he doubles into Tangela, Head Smash only does 34 to 40. So I think Wong might actually be a better play here, and I could Shell Smash. I think Wong might be a better play here, but Rock Slide isn't going to do much to the Tangela either. So I think my best play would be go into Drax and just Icicle Crash. I think that's my best play here. So I am going to Crash. If he defogs, he defogs. It's not the end of the world. If he switches, again, not the end of the world, because the Regice will take chip damage, and that's most likely going to be his switch. So the Icicle Crash is going to come out. Here comes the Tangela. We're going to do a decent chunk to this thing. We do a really nice chunk. And I kind of want to see if he has Synthesis. So the rocks are still up, which is something to note. Definitely something to note. So my opponent could go for a Leech Seed or a Synthesis here. Leech Seed or Synthesis. We know he has the knockoff. A potential knockoff could definitely come out here. I'm thinking Synthesis is probably the most likely play. Falcon's a pretty free switch here, honestly. I don't think Falcon is the worst, or I don't think Falcon is a bad switch, because if my opponent goes for the Synthesis, I can get off a huge Bug Buzz on this thing. Yeah, Bug Buzz has a chance to kill. If he's fully physically defensive, that is the Eviolite, right? Yeah, with the Eviolite, not fully. If he has a little bit of special defense, it kills, or it almost kills. We have a 93.8% chance to kill at full. If it's no special defense. So I'm going to double into Falcon. See what my opponent wants to do here. As we see the Synthesis, so predicted that there pretty nicely. And I'm going to mark that down. Synthesis. Now I can just go for a Bug Buzz here. What could my opponent go into? I think a U-turn would make a lot of sense on my part. An Air Slash might make some sense as well. But this thing has a really good matchup in the late game, because we do outspeed these bottom 3 Mons. Well, we'll speed tie with the Medicham, but we do outspeed the Hitmonchan as well as the Tangela. So this could have a really big role in the late game. So I think U-turn makes the most sense here, because I don't think my opponent is going to want to switch in or switch out. So I'm going to go for the U-turn as my opponent switches out into Regice. As we see it take a little bit of chip damage, and I'm honestly, what do I want to bring in here? I could go Drax, which won't finish it off with an Earthquake, but it'll do a good chunk. I could go Cap to fire off a huge Head Smash and take this thing out. Earthquake might even take it out at this point. Let me actually calc that real quick. Cap, Regice. If you're fully Fizz-Def. Let's just say bold. Will an Earthquake from Cap take it out? It will not. Head Smash obviously will, and so will Outrage, but I don't want to give up Cap just like that yet. So I could double into Wong, because if it's fully physically defensive, it probably doesn't have max speed, and it would have to be timid in order to outspeed my Wong. And a Rock Slide might take it out. Let's see. Rock Slide it has a chance to take it out, but we could also get the flinch. Does a Thunderbolt take me out? It does not. So I could go for 2 Waterfalls instead, and that have a good chance to take it out. So I think Wong is the play here, because Masquerain has a really good matchup late game, especially with those rocks up. So I could go for a Smash here. I could Shell Smash, but we probably are going to see a switch into Tangela. Honestly, probably going to see a switch into Tangela, so I could double back out into my Drax or out into Falcon. I think a Thunderbolt is a very real play here, so I'd rather go into Drax. But where does that get me? That doesn't really get me anywhere, if I'm being completely honest. That doesn't really get me anywhere. So if I'm +2, let's just say I'm +2 with Wong. If I'm +2 with Wong, not defense, +2 attack. Rock Slide only does 25% to the Tangle. That Tangle is such a big problem. So it all comes down to what I think my opponent's going to do here. Do I think my opponent is going to switch, or do I think he's going to stay in? Are we going to see the Tangela? Are we not going to see the Tangela? Does my opponent stay in and try to Thunderbolt and take me out? I think Tangela is just makes too much sense here. So I could predict that and go on a Falcon. Let me see how much damage we're taking, how much damage Falcon's taking from this thing. With no, well, it doesn't kill Falcon, and I will get the berry back. Yeah, it does a little bit more than half, so I'm gonna double into my Falcon, predicting a switch. As we see a Thunder Wave, that's not good. Okay. Over predicted there. Man, this is a rough spot. This is a rough spot because my opponent, it's probably just Ice Beam left, so it can't really touch Drax. If I'm being completely honest, so I could double into Drax, predicting a Thunderbolt. It's a pretty rough spot. A pretty rough spot. I'm gonna double into Drax. I'm gonna double into Drax because Masquerain still definitely has some merit in this game. 2 Earthquakes will finish this thing off, most likely, because it's a 66. Yeah, 2 Earthquakes should finish the thing off. And if the Crobat comes in, that's fine with me. It'll take rocks damage, and I can Icicle Crash it. So I'm just going to go for an EQ. This thing most likely has Ice Beam as its last move. We know that you go Eviolite because of the damage we saw. Haven't seen anything else. Sharpedo's out. Alright. So let's see what my opponent's going to go for. Oh, that was a really big play. That was a really big play. If I had stayed in a rock slid, I could have knocked it out. I think. No, I don't think it would. I think it would have 2 KO'd. And then Wong would have gotten paralyzed. So, it's not the end of the world. Like, Wong still has potential in this matchup if I can set up on something. I'd have to set up on the Crobat, honestly. There's an Earthquake. We do a big chunk of damage. And there's an Ice Beam. So I could Earthquake again. I do want to Earthquake again because there's no reason for him to switch out, considering he dies to rocks. So I am just going to Earthquake one more time, as we do reveal the Ice Beam. So that Regice is gone. It dies to rocks. And this switch is fine here. I'm just going to fire off... an Icicle Crash. There's the Regice comes in. So Regice is gone. That was a pretty good play. Regice dies to South Rock from Drax, right? Yeah, Piloswine. Regice dies to South Rock from Piloswine. So the Regice is gone. So now... Generator. Okay. So this thing comes in. So I don't want to just let it... I could Ice Shard for a little bit of damage, but I think that damage will be negligible. Don't even think there's a point. So I don't just want to let this thing potentially set up, like a bulk up. The Ice Shard does 25%. It does a quarter damage. So I can get that damage off, or I can potentially let it set up, like... Yeah, I mean, I do too much damage to not... I'm just going to Ice Shard. We do see Drain Punch. Okay. That was a good play on my part. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, but we see the Drain Punch come out. as this thing also has leftovers, which is craziness. So we see kills Piloswine with Drain Punch. Hitmonchan kills Piloswine with Drain Punch. So now I could go into Namor. He could Earthquake. I have the Shooka for that. He could Thunder Punch, but that would give me information. Falcon being paralyzed really sucks. I think Namor might have to be my play here. I want to save the Intimidate for you, though. But I also have the Intimidate with Falcon, which I think makes a little bit more sense to keep around. So I'm going to go Namor. We're going to get the Intimidate off. Probably going to see a Thunder Punch. Does a -1 Thunder Punch kill the set that I have here? So we're going to see Thunder Punch. And if you are, let's just say you're max attack. So we can't get any information from what we just saw. We see Thunder Punch and we see -1, or we'll just put the Intimidate on. Thunder Punch has a chance to kill. It has a 20.4 chance. No. So I'm at 111 HP. It has a 37.5% chance to kill. So I could Scald here, or I could Toxic. What do I think would benefit me more in the long run? Scald is doing 15 to 18% and has the potential to burn. Scald is doing 15 to 18% and has the potential to burn. That's if it's max attack. If it's max attack Adamant, it has a chance to kill me. If it's not any of those things, it doesn't kill me. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard that. I think Toxic is more worth it, just in case that Tangela switches in. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for the Toxic, because we can ship this thing down a little bit. And I can play that game kind of with Masquerain. We've seen Earthquake, the Shooka Berry comes out. We get the Toxic off. So that's what that's what that was for. Shooka Berry, Earthquake. We're doing alright. That did 17.1%. So if we see Earthquake on this thing, Earthquake on this thing does 16 to 19. So that's about right. So it is probably max attack Adamant, is what most likely what we're looking at. So I just Scald here. I let this thing go down. There's another Earthquake. Kills Quillfish. Another play I could have made is doubled into my Masquerain, which could have played out okay, but you know, we're gonna kind of roll with it. Now my play is 100% just to go into Falcon. You get that second Intimidate off, and I can Air Slash. Air Slash should knock this thing out from here. Yeah, Air Slash most likely will not. Well, if it's max attack, if it's max HP, so hold on, let's see this. Yeah, it'll knock it out. Most likely it'll knock it out. I'm just gonna go for the Air Slash. It is gonna be able to get some damage off on me, but I do have the Iapapa to get me back up to potentially full health, so we can still check the Medicham decently. I think I Oko Medicham, if I remember correctly. We see a Rapid Spin, gets rid of the rocks. Not a bad play, but we do knock this thing out. And the Medicham, we do Oko the Medicham. So we saw the Rapid Spin as this thing is gone. So Masquerain kills Hitmonchan with Air Slash. So now we see no rocks, and we see the Crobat come out. Now we know it is a special bat, so it could potentially have the Giga Drain. However, this might be my opportunity to set up and Outrage. Does Outrage at +1/2 at KO a defensive Tangela? Outrage +1 defensive Tangela. Head Smash does. Outrage does not. Head Smash does. So I need to keep this thing around. I don't think I need Wong. But I don't want to let it... I don't want to let him Nasty Plot and then Giga Drain. What other moves? Does this thing get any other moves to hit my Crobat? Or to hit my Tyrantrum? I think Giga Drain might be his best shot. Shadow Ball. You know, whatever. I don't think he gets anything to hit me super effectively. I'm looking. I mean, I think Hidden Power Ice would be his best shot. So let me calc a +2 Hidden Power Ice. Let's just say, you know, let's just say max attack modest. Let's go worst case scenario, or max special attack with Hidden Power Ice. Max special attack modest, Hidden Power Ice. I've already seen his leftovers. It KOs me, so Head Smash will destroy that thing. And we won't take the damage because we're Rockhead. So I think I just go Cap. But Wong doesn't really have any merit in this matchup. But I don't want to... I can use it as a sack if I need to, I guess. I'm going to go into Cap. There's a Toxic. Okay. Does that affect me too much? Do I Oko the Tangela with Continental Crush? If I'm at +1? We don't, but we do a big chunk. I'm gonna D-Dance. I'm gonna Continental Crush. I think this is the opportunity. +1 Continental Crush to 68 to 80. Can't Sleep Powder me. This might even kill the Medicham, honestly. Yeah, this kills the Medicham. This either does a huge chunk to Tangela or kills something, and I can just Outrage away. Down to 23. Is he a Leech Seed? You're gonna have Protect is the question. I Outrage 100%, so I don't miss. Does +1 Outrage kill the Crobat? It does most certainly kill the Crobat, so I just Outrage. There's a +1 Outrage. We kill the Tangela. Kills with Outrage. Tyrantrum kills Tangela with Outrage. Are you Scarfed? That's the question. I Outrage. Are you Scarfed? Yep, he's Scarfed with Drain Punch. Kills. Medicham kills with Drain Punch. Choice Scarf. So now I have a choice to make. We know he's Scarfed into Drain Punch. Does Air Slash won't kill the Crobat. So it's a tough position, but it's not, I don't think it's in either of our favor. I think it just matters. I think it just depends on how we play this endgame. So let's see. If I go Falcon, he Drain Punches, it does big damage, and I Air Slash. Air Slash will knock him out, most likely. Air Slash has a 93.8% chance to OHKO. It does how much to the Crobat? It does 39 to 47 to the Crobat. And Brave Bird kills me. If I go into Wong here, does a +2 drain, does a Drain Punch kill me here? That's the question. So you see Drain Punch on my Omastar. Doesn't kill me. It does less than half. Why does it have the ability telepathy? What the hell? It's pure power. Yeah, there we go. Has a chance to kill me. +2. Waterfall has a chance to kill it. So I do just go Masquerade. Now, it's -1, so it doesn't kill Wong. So I could U-turn predicting the switch into Crobat, but my opponent has Giga Drain. My opponent has Giga Drain. He definitely has Giga Drain. I think I have to stay in with Wong, or I think I have to stay in with Falcon and let it go down. I think setting up with Wong is my endgame here, is the way I win this. Does Giga Drain from the Crobat kill me? It definitely does, right? Yeah, it 100% kills me. So I can't U-turn. I have to Air Slash. Air Slash is 100% my play. This is a tough choice. Air Slash from Medicham or from Crobat doesn't kill me. Doesn't kill the Masquerade. Air Slash from Crobat doesn't kill the Masquerade. Brave Bird's still more powerful. We know he has Air Slash instead. We have a chance to 2-KO the Crobat. And I am going to get health back with Masquerade because of the Eye of Papa Berry. So what does my opponent do? Does he go into Crobat or does he stay in and die? Goes for the Drain Punch. We kill with the Air Slash. Masquerade kills Medicham with Air Slash. So my opponent definitely has Giga Drain. Air Slash has a chance to kill me. So the Intimidate doesn't matter. I think I have to Air Slash and hope I live. And then hope that Giga Drain doesn't kill Wong. Is that what I have to do? Or hope that he doesn't have Giga Drain? Because switching out doesn't matter here. Yeah, Air Slash. Doesn't knock me out. Get the Eye of Papa. Air Slash comes out. We get a crit. Oh, Masquerade's trying so hard. Masquerade's trying so hard. Is there anything I can do here? Hope that he doesn't have Giga Drain, but he definitely does. There's no way he doesn't have Giga Drain. There's no way he doesn't have Giga Drain. There's nothing else I can do here. I Air Slash. He roosts. He's hoping that... He's hoping for me to get paralyzed. Does he have Giga... No, now that he has... That he showed the roost... He had Rapid Spin on Hitmonchan, but would he have Defog on this thing as well? If he doesn't have Giga Drain, I think I win. I think I'm gonna Bug Buzz. Do I Bug Buzz and try to lower his special defense? Or do I air slash for damage? How much damage do I need on this thing? Because right now I have to bank on him not having Giga Drain. Rock Slide, 2 KOs. So damage won't really matter a ton. I want to Bug Buzz and see if I can lower his special defense. Goes for a Toxic. We don't get the special defense drop. Now I air slash. We get paralyzed. I have to air slash again. Air slash knocks me out. Kills. Air slash. It all comes down to whether or not he has Giga Drain. Do I Shell Smash? Does that make a whole lot of sense? Because that way I only have to land 1 Rock Slide, as opposed to 2. My opponent could Roost here, trying to stall me out of Rock Slides. Or not, well, get me to... well, he wouldn't Roost because he's faster. He has to Giga Drain if he has it. If not, he Toxics. I think I Shell Smash. Because if he has Giga Drain, he'll knock me out. So, how much damage did he do to me? He did... How much damage did that original Air Slash? He did 74%. So let's calc that against the Masquerain. So that's about... I don't think he's modest. Yeah, he's not modest. So he's probably timid. I don't think that'll matter, though. It doesn't matter. If he's not max special attack, I have a chance to live. If he's timid and has no more than 232 if he has 232 EVs or less, I have a chance to live. I think Shell Smash just makes sense. We see a Toxic. Does he not have the Giga Drain? I mean, it doesn't matter if I Waterfall or Rock Slide. Rock Slide or Waterfall don't matter. So I'm +2 against this Crobat. I think I Waterfall twice as opposed to Rock Sliding. Well, I have to land 1 of 2 Rock Slides. So Rock Slide's a better play. Rock Slide. And we knock out the Crobat. We win the match. He didn't have Giga Drain. Oh my lord. He didn't have Giga Drain. Kills Crobat with Rock Slide. He didn't have Giga Drain. Oh my jeez. Wow. Holy crap. If he had Giga Drain, I lost. But I had to bank on him not having Giga Drain. Wow. Lord Helix, Wong coming through. Wow. Oh my lord. Alright. Good game to my opponent. That was such a good game. It's been a long time since I battled. I think it's been a few weeks. It's been at least a week and a half. Maybe 2 weeks since I've actually done a battle. Since I've done a non-Little Cup battle, it's been 3, 4, 5 weeks maybe. It's been a long time. A league battle. I've done, you know, showdown stuff, but like a league battle. Excuse me. But it feels really good to get back in the win column. Oh, and it feels so good to have a good match and beat a good opponent and play well. Obviously, I had some misplays in there, but overall, I felt like I made a lot of good reads. I made plays that made a lot of sense, and I just had a good match overall. So I'm super happy with my performance. We're moving on to the semifinals, and I believe we're going up against the Orlando Apolitoads. I'm like 90% sure. So our old friend Rishu, we get to face him next. So we'll see how that goes. But again, like I said in the beginning of the video, thank you guys. Or I'm sorry, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you like the video, make sure you like it. You drop a like. It's really motivating when I get likes and I get comments and all that stuff. So please drop a like, drop a comment. And don't forget to subscribe if you like my content so you know exactly when I upload all the time. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.